And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Let's get there. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share, because this stupidity, it's got to stop. Sometimes the headlines out of this administration, they're just too good to be true. I can't stop talking about it. I actually want to read to you the top line from an NBC News article from Thursdays, and here's it titled, "Jurors Showed No Appetite for the Justice Department's Case Against Sandwich Guy." Remember the guy who threw the Subway sandwich at a Border Patrol officer and then he ran away? Yeah, well, the DOJ actually tried to charge him with a felony, but a grand jury, well, they said no. So what they do? They put him on trial for a misdemeanor, and now a jury of his peers found him not guilty. I mean, everyone's having a field day with this case. Make sandwich puns, left or right, doesn't make a difference. Everyone is making fun of this. On Political Beatdown, my co-host Ben Meiselas and I, we spoke about the case. We played the original clip of the sandwich guy, and we explained why the American people have a responsibility to push back on Trump's invasion of our cities. Though, I don't know, a food fight might not be the best method to do it. Play the clip.
Sean Dunn, the 37-year-old former employee of the Department of Justice who allegedly threw that Subway sandwich at the Border Patrol officer, he was found not guilty of throwing the sandwich at the Border Patrol officer. Now, there was absolutely no evidence at all that he threw the sandwich. Let me be very clear about that. Show this video. It does not show him throwing the sandwich at the officer. Here, play this clip. I did not see a sandwich get thrown. Let me watch it one more time, Jeremy, because I'm trying to see if he threw it. All I saw was kind of an extension, and then I saw it fall to the ground, and I saw perhaps the Border Patrol agent eat it. Maybe he was just handing it over to eat.
I did not throw that sandwich at the ICE agent.
Let me see it one more time because I just want to double check to make sure I did not see it. Here, let's play it. Yeah, I'm with the jury. I'm with the jury on this one. If anything, the second time I saw it, it looked like he may have been offering the Border Patrol a piece of the pepperoni, and just, it's very tasty, that sandwich from Subway. Here he is after the victory. Let's play this clip of him winning after the jury found him not guilty of throwing it at the officer for a misdemeanor assault. Let's play it.
Firstly, I'd like to thank especially Sabrina, Julia, and Nick for countless hours, and the rest of the team at Steptoe. And I would like to thank Steptoe for offering all of their services pro bono.
Feeding me.
Yes. I would like to thank family and friends and strangers for all of their support, whether it was emotional or spiritual or artistic or financial, to the people that opened their hearts and homes to me. I am eternally grateful. And I am so happy that justice prevails in spite of everything happening. And that night, I believe that I was protecting the rights of immigrants. And let us not forget that the Great Seal of the United States says e pluribus unum. That means from many, one. Every life matters, no matter where you came from, no matter how you got here, no matter how you identify. You have the right to live a life that is free. Thank you.
Sean, what does that have to do with throwing a sandwich?
What do you?
All right, thank you very much. I said my original comment. Thank God.
And everyone has the right to a what is it, a $5 foot long. I mean, that was just, look, again, did he do it? Well, I think we all saw.
I tried to watch it in slow motion during the break. When I watched it in slow motion, what I saw was he took the sandwich, and then it looked like he was offering the sandwich to the officer who was hungry. And then if you look, the officer stuck his tongue out and said, "Feed me the pepperoni." And then it looked like it touched the tongue. But in all seriousness, though, Cohen, regardless of that, look, what the defense wasn't whether he threw the sandwich or not. The defense was self-defense. And the defense was like, I want to give the serious legal analysis because I know we could have fun, but I want to give the legal analysis. The defense was ICE was invading our streets and the Border Patrol was attacking us. And so to resist an attack against us, you're entitled to a self-defense against the excessive force that was being used with the smoke and the weapons of war. And so the closing argument is, can you, in a war being declared on you, can you use a sandwich for self-defense? And you can imagine it being a very persuasive argument to the jury. He wasn't using a weapon or guns or anything like that. He defended the community of immigrants and himself with a sandwich. Ladies and gentlemen, find him not guilty. That's the true argument. Just so
that's a fair argument. I think what really upset the officer and others the most is that it had mayonnaise on it. And so, and I think the ICE officer is actually lactose intolerant, so therefore they were calling it an assault on his bowels. But that, neither here nor there. We saw what we saw, and at the end of the day, it was a Solomonian decision. This guy should not have a record because, he threw a Subway sandwich at the officer and they are aggressive. Did you see the other day, Ben? We all saw the clips of an ICE officer shooting a priest or a member of the clergy. I don't know what his title was, but did you see that they also did that the other night to an elder woman? She must be in her 80s, literally split open her scalp. I mean, they are out of their mind. They believe that they are entitled to do anything that they want. I've seen them literally putting their knees and elbows in the back of people's necks and on top of their head. Guys laying on the floor, they're like, put your hands behind your back. He goes, my hands are behind my back. Stop resisting. Resisting what? I got 4 of you sitting on top of me. Fuck off of me, right? And, stop resisting, It's like they're playing to the camera in order to ensure that when they ultimately get held responsible or accountable, that they'll be able to use that film and say, oh, that's why I believe that he was acting in a manner which is inconsistent with my directives. And therefore, we had to hold him down and we had to stick our knee into his back or into his head. That's what they're doing. They are completely unqualified to be doing what they're doing. And you know what? Once again, Americans are seeing this. And they're not liking it. Right. They're not enjoying watching a elder woman who could be anybody's mother or grandmother literally getting shot in the top of the head by an ICE agent with one of those rubber bullets.
Here's the thing, right? Like police departments, police officers, they have training at an academy. Then they have consistent training throughout the year. There are manuals, there are clear rules and guidelines about what force is okay, what force is not okay. So you look at some of the affidavits filed in the case where Judge Ellis in Chicago ultimately granted the injunction. And what the lawyers talk about is that from the Chicago Police Department, which, by the way, I'm not trying to act like the Chicago Police Department doesn't have issues, like lots of metropolitan police departments, right? it's got issues, and it's got past of bad cops, and there are good cops and bad cops. And sometimes the problem is where the good cops cover up for the bad cops. Hard to make the argument you're a good cop when, I was a civil rights lawyer who did lots of excessive force cases against police officers. I developed a great respect for a lot of good police officers, and I saw bad policing and the consequence of it. But in Chicago, I think they said out of like X millions of encounters with people, not once did they gas people or use the gas agents over the course of 30. They've never had to use the gas agent ever. And they're talking about the protests after the killing of George Floyd. Never had to use gas on citizens. And ICE uses it regularly. And types of force that you see from ICE, it's that of just gangsters. Like, I draw a big distinction, and I think to law enforcement out there, who I have a great deal of respect for, I think law enforcement needs to make it very clear, and they are, that they're not with this ICE crap, because they shouldn't be shoulder to shoulder with these like wannabe, like these like bad individuals who are out there doing really terrible, terrible stuff. So like one of the examples is, and this could never happen in a police department ever. Like if this happened and I represented this family, which I represented families like this back in the day, and you told me that the cops got into the car after removing the dad or someone from the car, essentially kidnapped the 2-year-old, drove the 2-year-old away wearing masks, you would say, Ben, what do you think that case would go to trial for or settle for? I say any day I could hit for like $3 to $5 million, on a case like that, maybe more, because the emotional distress that 2-year-old's going to experience for the rest of their life, you've just screwed up this kid's life forever. You've kidnapped the child. And so let me show you this, Cohen. This is in Los Angeles. This is close to where I live. This is right by where my wife's family lives. I'll show you what went down. Let's play the clip.
The one that specifically I'm thinking about is the one that he himself, the governor of California, the one that specifically I'm thinking about is the one that he himself, the governor of California, was sitting watching this broadcast yesterday and sent a text to my cell phone with a video of a raid from Los Angeles, which I think we have, at Cypress Park Home Depot. I've talked to you from that very Home Depot before. It's around the corner from my house. Look at inside this car. They took a U.S. citizen father out and left a toddler in the back seat. 2 heavily armed Border Patrol agents got in that car and drove the child and the vehicle away. Homeland Security says that father had a pistol in the car, threw rocks at law enforcement, yet he was later released, and the child was returned to the family. Lawyers are saying if there was anything to that story, why didn't they take the kid and lock the father up? And Gavin Newsom wrote to me, I am shaking. He's sick. I'm sick. Our country is sick.
Yeah. Could you imagine if he had a firearm on him? You're going to really turn around and say that firearm would not be right now on the trunk of the car, as they do anytime that there's evidence, right? What you do is you pull the pin onto it. You remove, of course, the bullets, and then you keep it what do you call it? You keep it open, and generally they have locks that would prevent it from being discharged. We certainly didn't see that on the vehicle. We certainly didn't see any rocks in the area. You're talking about being in a parking lot. What is he? On the beach or something, throwing shot. I mean, again, the fact that they lie and they do it with impunity. They turn around, they make up bullshit stories to cover their own behavior. This is out of control. And the worst part is that we see shit like this every single day. Every fucking day we see this. We are becoming numb to it. It's almost like, oh yeah, well, the other day, as I was saying before, the other day, I watched this ICE shot this older woman, an 80-year-old, in the top of the head. Oh yeah, the day before that, they shot this clergy member. Oh yeah, did you see what they did? Had this black guy on the floor with 5 agents on top of him, literally to the point he's screaming, hey, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. They're like, stop resisting. I mean, he's like, I'm an American. I was born here. And it's like, they just don't stop. It's almost as if though we are being conditioned to accept this because they expect much more of it to come. And we will not. Let's make that pledge together right here on Political Beatdown, right here on this MTN network. We will not let this happen. We will fight every single one of these ICE agents from continuing this abusive behavior. We will fight this administration and never let them turn around and make this into routine or normal. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.